Hey, what's up everybody? It's the Crypto Ginger here. Just wanted to quickly apologize for not having provided any content in the last couple of days. Unfortunately, I've been dealing with a pretty big legality issue when it comes to the custody of my child, so I had to put a lot of attention and focus on that. But it did not stop me from looking up information and news about Ripple and XRP. And I just wanted to take a quick moment and go over this article from Daily Hodl here, where we see that Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse says banks are poised to flip the switch on XRP. Now, this is really something we've been hearing from Brad Garlinghouse and at least members of the Ripple company talking about how there will be banks that are going to utilize xRapid, for example, which is a platform that is going to make a use case out of the XRP coin. If you're new to this channel, if you're new to what xRapid and any of those platforms are from Ripple, please take a look at that information via either my previous content or just simply go to YouTube and type up xRapid and xCurrent and any of those, again, platforms that Ripple's created, get a better idea. However, if you are familiar with that, then this article right here is at least positivity when it comes to any of the XRP holders out there. Again, the idea here is that Brad Garlinghouse has mentioned several times in the past that by the end of 2019, he's confident that there's going to be dozens of banks utilizing xRapid, which will make a use case out of XRP. And of course, here in this particular article, he is just simply stating that there are banks right now ready for the switch to be flipped so that utilization of XRP or xRapid can go into effect. Now, this right here is based off an article that was done from Fortune, where they interviewed Brad Garlinghouse to talk about what's happening with Ripple. The expansion has taken place with their company. We've heard about this recently in the past that Brad Garlinghouse has announced there's been roughly around 200 plus banks and financial institutions onboarding themselves using Ripple Network, whether it's xCurrent, xRapid, xVia, or something even just using XRP, the coin. The idea is that there are a substantial amount of companies out there who have linked themselves to Ripple to take advantage of some of their products. This right here in this article I found very interesting because Brad Garlinghouse said something that I think we need to pay attention to for the sake of 2019 and 2020, because this expansion is really going to start growing rapidly. From what we've gathered here, a lot of this information from Ripple, what they're trying to do, and of course when you connect this information to that of the banks that are connected to Swift and what Ripple's trying to do with those banks, you can see that this right here could be very explosive going into the near future if we start seeing a lot of these banks start utilizing more of what Ripple's platforms have to offer. And once that switch is flipped for the xRapid to go live for a lot of these banks. Currently, xRapid is live for financial institutions, but you need more than just one bank utilizing xRapid. Otherwise, it really doesn't have any real effect. You have to have this taking place, again, cross-border with multiple banks. So, in this article here, Brad Garlinghouse said something I thought was very interesting. He says, "This is the year that the wheat will be separated from the chaff. Not many months ago, the media was saying no one will use XRP, which made for good skeptical headlines. Today, you can't say that, as people are starting to use xRapid because it is better, faster, and cheaper." So again, we know that there are some financial institutions out there currently using xRapid because of, again, it is better, faster, and cheaper. But we need to see more of these institutions connecting together to use xRapid, because that's where we're going to start seeing the real true effectiveness of what xRapid has to offer. That's also going to show us how much money is actually going into the XRP coin. I think the value of XRP will start jumping up pretty dramatically after that. Of course, here in this article, it also talks about a couple additional announcements for companies who have recently onboarded themselves. I mentioned one of these companies in a previous video, that was EuroXM. They're basically a company based out of London. And again, they have just recently stated that they will be using xRapid here in the first quarter of this year here. So we definitely know that there's going to be an institution out there going to be using xRapid here in the very first quarter of 2019. A couple of additional companies that have stated they're going to go in and start using xRapid as well is JNFX, which is a London-based foreign exchange firm. We have SendFriend, which we've heard about. They are a New York-based fintech for global remittance market. We have Transpago, which is Vienna-based fintech for mobile payments. And then we have Financial Transaction Control System, or FTCS, which is a Stockholm-based company building financial infrastructure. So that flipping of the switch, that is something that a lot of these companies and a lot of these banks are primarily waiting for. Once we start seeing a lot more of these companies coming out and exposing themselves ready to use that, I think that's when we're going to start seeing the switch flipped. Again, you need more than just one of these companies utilizing xRapid. Otherwise, it doesn't have the true effectiveness that we're going to see when majority of all these banks are using it. So I know it's a lot to think about, it's a lot to take in, and it's something that we have to really sit back and say, okay, we got to give this some time to actually have its true effectiveness. But I truly believe we're going to see a huge price point swing going into the XRP coin, just simply because xRapid is making a use case out of that coin. So this is going to be an ongoing process. It's going to take some time. And again, Brad Garlinghouse did mention last year in 2018 that he is confident that by the end of this year, 2019, dozens of banks are going to be utilizing xRapid. So we still have quite some time to go before we really start seeing all this come to fruition, at least from the standpoint of, again, the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse's standpoint. So let's keep that in mind, guys. One other thing I wanted to quickly go over here I found very interesting. So I stumbled across this article here from smartarium.com that talks a little bit more about some sort of price prediction for XRP. And of course, this thing goes into the range of anywhere from $3 to $5 to even $10 by the end of 2019 for the price of XRP. My goal here wasn't to actually go for some sort of price prediction. You can actually take a look at this article because it is pretty extensive as far as how they evaluate everything that we've already gone over for quite some time now and how they gather their resources for giving this prediction. I'll let you guys read that information. What I wanted to do is talk about something they pinpointed here to end this video because I think it really hones in on what Ripple's trying to do here. And it talks about how, what are we as a society if we aren't able to build robust relationships based on trust? That and honor should be in front of every social interaction involving human beings, including financial transactions. As the world shifts towards a more digital, cryptography-protected way of doing business, traditional banking platforms are being slowly phased out of the financial scope. Only those willing to adjust and include more efficient payment systems, which are both faster and safer, will be able to maintain in the business and survive. This right here is going to be a huge benefit when it comes to all of these banks that might want to start utilizing xRapid. They'll be able to do faster, cheaper payment sources, and of course save a lot more money when it comes to, again, transferring money back and forth utilizing xRapid, which again makes a use case out of XRP. That's when we're going to start seeing the price of XRP jump up significantly because we're starting to see more banks utilizing that. But again, we won't be able to see this flip switch for the xRapid to go into effect for these banks until we start seeing more banks ready to use that. So it will take time. But again, Brad Garlinghouse has mentioned in the past that he is very confident by the end of 2019, we're going to see dozens of banks onboarding themselves using xRapid. So I know it's a lot to take in. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this, guys. I just wanted to stay positive when it comes to Ripple, XRP, xRapid, all these platforms that are taking place for a lot of these banks and financial institutions to use. And of course, if I've missed anything when it comes to this information, please let me know in the comment section. You guys are all wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. If you're new to the channel, hit the like and subscribe button. And as well, if you are looking to secure cryptocurrencies, take advantage of that Ledger Nano S wallet link in the description below. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.